Kia ora, a very warm welcome into the form. We head down to Riccarton for our feature this weekend, the listed Makybe Diva Stakes. We've also got plenty of other action to talk about. So as usual, we've got our full team back in, Aidan Rodley, Bevan Sweeney and Lee Thinnis. And this is what's coming up on the form this week. We'll start with the Riccarton preview. Of course, the race number 7, the New Zealand Bloodstock Makybe Diva Stakes, our main aim down there. The new Plymouth preview, we'll be checking out the Open on their program, our race trackers. Then we're heading to Rapa, of course, a great meeting there on Sunday, including the Great Northern Hurdle and Steeplechase. Kiwis and Oz, while we look forward to the Group 1 Makybe Diva and our best bets, as you know, to round out the show. Good meeting on Saturday down at Riccarton. So Aidan, as I say hello to you, weather and track conditions, what can we expect on Saturday?
Yeah, hi Pip, and to the boys, hello too, and to our viewers as well. Thanks for joining us on the form. Yeah, Riccarton is a little bit wet. There's a band of rain just coming across, and it's going to hit on Friday. It just means that currently we're on a soft 5. It is going to just deteriorate a little bit. It's a pretty fine day Thursday, so hopefully that's okay. But it does look to be wet weather conditions for Saturday's Makybe Diva Stakes Day. Okay, so not really the weather conditions we're wanting, but let's take a look at the market. It's a great field. Race number 7 on the card. Diablo Blanco favourite at $4. The Victress at that quote as well. Then you have About Last Night at $6 with Rosiah as well at that quote, and gets underway 3:58 Saturday. Right, let's have a look at some form leading in, and we'll start with the Victress. So very good here when resuming over the 1,000 metres, Aidan. Yeah, really good run now. A winner of 2 of 4, and it was just the way that Widdermoopin was able to control this race from the speed. There's a real bias towards those horses who were on speed this day, so you do need to take this into account. But she was able to just kick away from them strongly. That's About Last Night, who runs into a really nice second placing Lavender Haze, not too bad in behind them. But this is a very good Canterbury Bell trial.
Yeah, it certainly was a really on-speed day. Look, she's come home in 33 seconds, just under, and interesting that Opie Blossom gets on this week and Billy Pinn gets on Dream of the Moon.
Yeah, we'll have the Opie Blossom tax in the market. Gate by that stage will be interesting, whether Opie pushes forward. Is there a question on the heavy track conditions? Had been a little bit hit and miss, but it was a super performance, there's no doubt about that. I didn't mind Lavender Haze fresh up. I thought that was a really good effort for Terry Ray, and maybe that gate will be of some advantage by that stage of the day. I actually thought Diablo Blanco should be a little bit shorter in the market than the Victress, just on the body of work that this horse did as a 2-year-old, where, gee, I was really impressed with it. And it just seems to be able to put itself a little bit further forward in the running, this preparation, and a bit more settled leaf. And from that gate, it's going to have its pick of spots. And look, I know this is on the synthetic, but it was impressive here. It was impressive prior to that. Yeah,
Ashvin's got a really good association. Had 2 rides on the horse for 2 wins as well. And just from barrier 4, it just gives them so many options. She's been stable down there. She's trained on the track. So, look, Tiaka horses have travelled down. Look, Dream of the Moon's only the newest one down there. So, look, if the track does get out to that heavy range, I think Dream of the Moon from barrier 13 probably better suited than the Victress, I thought.
You're currently 2-1 in head-to-head against Diablo Blanco as well. Diablo Blanco has been great in those last couple, and that was a very good win. Ran all the quickest closing splits and on upside for sure. But Dream of the Moon comes into this with a really good trial. It was in behind Captured by Love, who pushed Alabama Lass so close in the Gold Trail Stakes. 3rd horse home in this trial's Orchestral. So Orchestral's come out, won a jump out very impressively at Ellerslie earlier on this week. And as we said, Dream of the Moon has won at Christchurch in the past, won at Riccarton, has beaten Diablo Blanco on 2 of the 3 occasions that they've met. So I really don't mind her.
My biggest concern here is fresh up if we do get into a heavy track condition. Interesting actioned filly there, just in that particular trial, but it was a good quality trial. Prior to that was in behind Alabama Lass, and of course took on very good 2-year-old company. So there's true ability there. We get into those really deep track conditions, and there's some concern, but the gate will be an assist by them. Pip.
Our Sally Ann is in the race, and we're going to head out and hear from Michael Pittman, and Greg O'Connor just asked about her ability.
Yeah, she's certainly got ability, and her last start, it's just best forgotten. She was last on the inside fence on the Polywillia no-show, so before that she ran second. I offered Kylie the ride and she snapped it up pretty quickly. She rode her when she ran second, so I mean, getting Kylie on board's a big plus on the local track. But it's probably a strong, very strong addition of the Canterbury Belle, probably as strong as we've had for a long time.
A good run, a bold run from the front, has pulled up well, worked well. She's definitely improved from it. Her coat's looking better since that run, so we're expecting a bold run with Opie aboard. Ran out the 1,000 very strong to the line, so always a positive stepping up to 1,200. Has been working well and has pulled up well since, so we're definitely positive going into Saturday. She won here as a 2-year-old. Her trial form before coming down here was super. You can't get a better field than that. The Matamata stable has sent her down in super order. She's arrived here, she knows the system here. She's fitted in well and her work's been good.
She's come through really well. Her work on Tuesday with Ashfin is probably the best I've seen, so it's great going forward into Saturday, and we've drawn perfectly in gate 4 with the rail being out 8 metres.
Well, that could give you some confidence around Diablo Blanco. Just hearing that her work's the best he's ever seen, Leith, as we get to you for selection. So you're heading that way or looking elsewhere?
Diablo Blanco, Pip. Look, I think just the race day fitness. She's had 2 runs in. Ashfin's got the perfect draw and barrier for where he can just track the speed, and I think she'll be awfully hard to beat.
I'm not going to disagree with Leith. I think Diablo Blanco brings in really good form, was very, very consistent as a 2-year-old, so I'm happy as well to go with Diablo Blanco in the feature.
Yeah, I really like it too, but I am going the Victress. I thought there was just a clinical performance, just a touch of, there was arrogance about the performance as well. Opie Boston doing the riding from a good barrier, looks the likely leader and hard to beat.
There you go, that's what the guys like in the feature. Now let's jump back a race number 6 on the program. This is the Open over the 1,200 metres, the Pride's Easy Feed, and Third Decree is your favourite at $3.40, Epi Bill at 5s, and then you do have Spartan at $5, the other runner in single figures. Let's go back to the race we want to highlight. Third Decree finishes second here, just run into a nice one, and it's stablemate Mystic Park, Aidan.
Yeah, absolutely. And these horses were ridden a little bit handier than we'd expected, and obviously they're advantaged by being that handy. But boy, she's got a great record, and she really did throw down the gauntlet to a pretty smart one in Mystic Park. In the end, she comes up second best. But her strike rate's good. She'll be improved by this. I thought she was a very, very good bet on Saturday.
Yeah, look, she didn't have a trial going into the race either, Rod, and you'd think she'd have natural improvement. Look, her sectionals through the race, apparently they came home in 31.5. So, look, I think second up this week, she's got to be a great chance.
I was blown away at $3.40. I thought they'd be shopping this horse at $2.40 in a race like this. Gate's perfect, comes back a kilo or 2.5 kilos from its fresh up performance. Looks absolutely ideally suited and one of the bets of the weekend. But
everyone is with Third Decree, so that will give you some confidence, and that does wrap up our Riccarton preview. Don't forget to, we've got the bonus back in play, but across the first 2 races for a change instead of your first 4. So make sure you're tuning into the action nice and early and have a play on the first couple to build your back for what will be a great day's racing down at Riccarton. Well, the domestic meeting on Saturday is in the Central Districts. We head to New Plymouth. So, Bevan, are we looking like getting better track conditions up there?
not really. Pip is extreme day, so we'll have some extreme conditions, some heavy rain showers forecast for the next couple of days and into Saturday morning. So heavy 10 now, rails at that 8 metres, makes it always a tricky proposition betting-wise at New Plymouth, but no better, I suspect, on Saturday in New Plymouth.
Well, luckily there is a couple of horses that like the cut out of the ground, and the race we want to highlight, race number 5 on the program, it is the Open over the 1,400 metres, the Seaton Park in Mustang Valley. She's already been backed in this market $4.40 into $3.70. Hi-Yo Sassbomb also in this market at $3.80. A little bit of specking around her. Spencer at $6, and One Bold Cat at 7s has been supported in the market as well. Let's go back to some form. We'll start with Hi-Yo Sassbomb beats Spencer here and One Bold Cat. Look, there was a couple that were eye-catching out of this, Leith, but no more than your winner.
Yeah, the winner was really good. Look, she was fresh up. It's the first time she's ever won over 1,200 metres, and she's a 6-year-old mare now, Pip, and look, she's got better. I really liked what I saw, and obviously Kelly Myers on this week, Joe Dawes in Christchurch, so Kelly's having her first ride on the horse, but she would, I think she's going to really suit this mare.
Yeah, just a really nice comeback. You'd expect there'd be further further improvement, and obviously we saw her at Group 3 level last preparation as well. So yeah, respect on the locals as always. They're going to be having a weekend out, the Taranaki trainers, Bevan, even a decent hand at Te Rapa, as we'll find out shortly.
It's a good race, first and foremost. It's a really, really good race. Now, Hayo Sasbom, sometimes when they perform that well fresh up, and I remember this horse winning at Hawara fresh up last, a preparation coming from last, then maybe a moderate run. But she does have a decent sort of record second up, so it's interesting. She's 55.5. She's up a kilo in the weight stakes there against some good horses. Spencer's been fantastic, and he'll sneak in with 51.5 kilos on his back. And One Bold Cat's actually, I know he's looking for further, and there's a big race in his future very, very shortly, but he's actually been very good at the 1400 metres. So I think it's, with all those three have to be in contention in this race. And of course, we need to talk about Mustang Valley, because this was a super effort, fresh up on a track that probably didn't suit 100%. The track probably suited, to be fair, but the 1200 metres did not. She came here, was it 12 months ago, and was up at a price, and she absolutely smashed them, and then went off to Hastings and did her business. So I was a bit surprised the price they put up around her. She's going to carry 59.5. That's probably the biggest concern, Leith, but her best version on a wet track is tough to beat even with that weight.
Yeah, she was a little bit unlucky in the Foxbridge Plate as well. Obviously, you know, we all know she won the race last year. She had 57. She's got to carry 59.5 this year. Narco Haley, he's riding super well at the moment. He's definitely going to suit her, and if that rain does turn up, she's got to be, you know, probably the hardest to beat in the race.
She big home ladies man last year. Obviously that form looks really good now, with both of those two horses winning the second and third legs of the Triple Crown. There's no weight difference this time round. I think it was 1.5 kilograms between them. I'm pretty sure it's the same, just doing calculations. Really like what was seen. She trolled up beautifully prior, beat the likes of Skewiff, who ran so well in Tarzeno. Quintessa, Sacred Satono was the winner of that trial. So her trial form's fine. Wet track, no worries. She's on top for me.
She's a class. This is a slightly stronger race than she did meet last year. Of course, ladies, men looking for further, as we all know. But I'll go with her again. Gate might be a niggle with the rail out by that stage of the day if she doesn't jump away, but she generally does have enough early gate speed. I think if they lead or get very handy to the speed, you'll see her trucking into the straight, and she's on top for mine.
I'm on a Hayo Sasbom. Look, as long as that track doesn't get into that heavy 10 range, look, her fresh up effort. She's come back bigger, stronger. But if it does get to that heavy 10, like you said, Mustang Valley will be awfully hard to beat.
And both of them are 440 apiece too, with the odd surge, which is available on each and every race out of New Plymouth. The feature, though, gets underway 2:25 trackside 1. That time on the form, our race trackers. Leith, who are you thinking we should follow this time?
Yeah, the who knows? Like last Saturday, she got sort of back from the outside gate. She was a little bit held up. There was a few unluckies in the race. The grey horse, Dodgy One, was unlucky. IGG, but who knows? It actually ran the fastest sectional than Grailseeker, believe it or not, in this race. Look, she's come home in 46.7. She doesn't have to improve much to win a good race this season. Noel Quinn, he's just not quite sure where he's going to run yet. Maybe the last day at Hawke's Bay, but she's definitely one out of the race I want to be on next start.
Yeah, she was a travesty beaten, really. But they went back from the draw. Now, the Entertainer, this was interesting because jumped away nicely under Warren, and then he was just really negative, so he got back last on the inside and was coming up the inside and making a pretty good run and decent sort of sectionals, and then runs out of room the last little bit of this race and has to be set up on. Look, you forgive the first up run. It was good in black type company last a season, and it's the type of horse I think will progress nicely out of this race into another day at the Bay and be hard to beat.
I'm going to stick with the Hawke's Bay theme. Geez, with some runs. With the horse back on the inside here, Marotiri Molly. Obviously, this was a horse I'd made as my tracker leading into the race. She came out and found just one of the best 75 fields you could see. The best was definitely late, runs the quickest last 600, 400, second quickest last 800 of the race. The best work was late. She's knocking on the door, she won't be too far away. I thought another really good effort on a day. We're finding them from Hastings. But
yeah, and I'm going to go to Ellerslie. Great to see them back at the trials earlier on in the week, and this runner from the James Wellwood stable dealt with is an ace high colt. He went by far the quickest heat of the day over the 800 metres, 46.64. He wins by 5 lengths here, and I thought it was ultra impressive and really professional. He holds a nomination too for the 2,000 guineas. So look out for him. But yeah, he was by far the most impressive from the trials for me out of Ellerslie on Tuesday. Here's a summary. Note them down, chuck them in your black book, at least with Who Knows, Bevan the Entertainer, Maratori Molly out of Hastings as well for Aidan and Onward, dealt with the star trialist. We have a massive day out of Te Rapa on Sunday, and as we've already mentioned, there's a bit of rain around this weekend, Aidan. So what are we expecting on Sunday?
Well, the funny thing is that it looks like Hamilton was avoiding it until basically afternoon Saturday and into Sunday. So it looks like a wet day for Northern Day. The weather leading into this is actually okay, but already it's in heavy 8 track conditions and it's not warm here in Hamilton at the moment. So maybe a couple of cold days, but dry, but it is going to get wet for Sunday.
Okay, well, it is a great Northern Hurdle and Steeple Day. So let's take a look firstly at the hurdle. It is race number 4 on the program, and Bury the Cash. No surprise to see the star jumper favourite $1.95. Nedwin, last year's winner, back to try and take it out again at $4.80. You've got Tiker at $6.50 and Invisible Spirit at $7.50. Let's take you to the key lead-in race, the Pakuranga Hunt Cup. A Tiker here. Bevan, what did you make of it?
Oh, I've always been a fan of this particular horse, and it was an interesting race in that he looked under pressure a long way from home, but he's got a heart. He was going really nicely in this race last season before things went a little bit skew with Hamish McNeil's sticks here over Nedwin, which I imagine he did have the choice of. They've always rated him really, really highly. I think there's a sense of timing with him. I know he was beaten behind Nedwin 3 starts ago on a really tough one at Trentham, but he loves this track and I'm expecting him to go massive on Saturday, Leaf.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if he had the choice. I thought Nedwin was actually quite good there. Obviously he's dropping back from 73 kilos, he gets down to 71. Emily Farr's on this week as well, so look, she's been away on holiday and it's good to see her back riding this week.
Yeah, oh, geez, I was taken by Nedwin as well, Leith, and obviously the extra distance really helped having won this last year. There's been 9 previous dual winners, so Nedwin hoping to join that. And what about the stable? Paul Nelson, Karina McDougall have won 3 of the last 4. I think Paul's won 6 of them, so you've just got to really respect him. However, Bury the Cash came from just a position where he thought, oh, no, he's not going to win this year. And then he just did it again. He's won 7 of his 10 hurdles. He's won all the big ones on the way through. And he got himself into all sorts this day in the Grand National hurdles, but he just found a way. I was so taken by him this day, Letha. I've got to stick with him just because if he gets himself into adversity as he did this day, he can get out of it.
Yeah, look, he jumped the last beautiful. The second last wasn't so good, and what we don't see there, it's sort of the 600 metres. Portia sort of got into a bit of trouble when she sort of clipped heels on the flat. Portia's got a great record on the horse. She's won 8 times from 12 rides. So look, he's got the 73 kilos, but he just loves winning, doesn't he?
Oh, he's just been a marvel across the last 2 years, and you really can't knock anything that he has done. I know he was a bit lucky 2 starts ago when another runner fell in front of him, and he took advantage of that, but then he backed up 7 days later into that, which was soft after all the interference you've spoken about. So, look, he's very hard to get away with. I didn't mind Matillo as well in that performance. I think the horse is going well for Lucy as well, but it's hard to see them turning the tables on Bury the Cash. But
it really is. Despite his $1.95 price, if you like him, he could be hard to beat. But one runner we haven't touched on yet is Smug, and Aidan did catch up with his trainer Chris Wood and asked him how he's doing going into Sunday.
He's doing well, Aidan. He hasn't really picked up a lot of prize money this year, but he's been going reasonable races without a lot of luck, and he ran 4th in the race last year, and I know the 4,200 metres will suit him, so yeah, fingers crossed for Saturday.
Well, I'm hoping he'll go quite well. He ran really well for Jay at the Great Northern, so I'm hoping he'll run well for me. When he was down at Riccarton, Jay gave him a really good ride, and he travelled really good for him. So basically, I've just been talking to Jay and just said, what's the plan? How do you do it, mate? So yeah, it'd be lovely to, for him to go well. It'd be nice for Lucy. She's a lovely lady. She's been always asking me all season, is there any chance you can jump on one? And unfortunately, I've just been a bit busy, but now I'm able to, and hopefully I can get the job done for Lucy.
Mike Monte's a lovely horse. He likes that wet track, and I said to Rudy all the way along, he's a horse destined for big races, I think. So we'll find that out this Sunday. I think the extra ground will suit him. I just sort of switch him off, put him to sleep again, and he jumps super and runs home good. So I'm expecting, yeah, 2 very good runs from both those boys.
He's doing well. We had him down Taranaki, but I think that'd probably be a bit heavy over the 2 mile. For Saturday, we've got Corey Wiles riding him. He's very, very well. Been putting in the miles and so forth. Corey gave him a few hurdle flights the other day just to get used to him. So all's going to plan. We're just some nice horses in there. So, but if you don't buy a ticket, you can't get a ride. So we'll head there and see how we go. Because I'm not sure, he ran third or something in it when it was at Tiara several years ago. So might have been that good a field then, I don't know. But no, he's well and he's an honest fellow. So he has been jumping a bit too high over the steeple. So we'll leave him for another year for that. But no, we're happy with him.
There you go, John, happy with his chances. Well, let's get selections in the Great Northern. Aidan, we'll start with you. Can you go past Bury the Cash?
No, I can't really. I love this clash between the reigning champs, the reigning Great Northern winner in Nedwin against the reigning Grand National winner in Bury the Cash. And I've gone the way of Bury the Cash, not by much though.
Yeah, I've got a bit of respect, and there's a bit of time about Ned Wynn. He sort of drops from 73 to 71. Emily Farr has won on Ned Wynn, but was on a high weight. But yeah, obviously Bury the Cash, he's got to be the one they'll have to beat.
Can I go a little bit outside the square? I think this is Bury the Cash's biggest test when you throw in Nedwin Tiker. I think, Invisible Spirit was amazing on the flat at Woodville the other day. And if Montevideo gets a really wet track, then he comes right into it because he just swims. So it's a really tough test for Bury the Cash. I hope he wins. Just going to go with one of my favourites, Tiker. I think he's going nicely. I think he'll stretch out. He loves the deck. He's got 66 kilos. I'll go with Tiker at a little bit of value.
Okay, well, let's now move on to the Steeplechase, race number 7 on the program, and it is headed by last year's winner in West Coast, $1.50. Old Jock at $7, and then you're getting out to I'm a Wonder, who was very good last start at $11. Let's go back to him though, taking out the Grand National, and really, Bevan, how do they beat this horse?
Well, I looked at this race and thought I might go outside him, and I thought, you traitor, you can't be doing that, because he's a champion. I've been with him throughout his career, from his maiden flat win, and this was super. Now, I talked to Noel Quinn, and this is something that Aidan might be able to talk to, that he came in off the course this day and was hardly puffing, and the rest of them were on their knees. A-Rod. Noel was absolutely blown away with him, 73 kilos with what he did, and he just walked in as though he'd only been out there for a weekend stroll. So, look, he'll be very tough to beat.
Absolutely owns the race, doesn't he? That was his 3rd win in it, and he's looking for his 2nd winner in a Great Northern. He might be as good as a jumper as we've ever seen. He's won 10 of 14, placed in the other 4. A chance for Sean Fannin to become the champion of Great Northern jockeys as well. He's won it on 5 occasions, shares that with Isaac Lupton, so a chance for him to go to 6, and who could go against him, Leith?
Yeah, it's interesting. West Coast race at Woodville last week, and I don't know who backed him or why, but they backed him from $40s to $9. But look, it was a fitness run for him, and look, he's a champion, as we all know. I'd love to see him win this week. I'm with Call Me Jack though. His last race was unbelievable. Look, he was a mile off them, and you don't see him for the last sort of 200 metres, and he's just slowing. Look, he loves the heavy track. He loves Rapa. He's got the perfect weight, 66 kilos. Dean Parker on, and if there is one for West Coast, I'm not too sure if he's got 6,500 metres. You'd think it would suit him the way he's finished this race off.
A lot of people were telling me about this horse on Saturday, Leith, as the winner in this particular race. So I think he is clearly the biggest danger. So if there is one to beat him, Kevin Myers has been planning this for a fairly long period of time, I think, Aidan. And look, you just have to respect that last little bit of work seen there going forward into the extreme distance.
Yeah, he really did close off beautifully. I just wonder whether West Coast will have these horses out of their comfort zone. So he did it to Old Jock last time. I'm a Wonder was pretty good, and obviously in colours that we've seen to the fore in this race many, many times.
And Izzy, my dad, was in behind I'm a Wonder there. He's been there, done that, and Aidan caught up with his jockey, Stephen Karshnick, and just asked him what it's like to ride him.
he ran quite a nice race last time in Woodville, and he's slowly creeping down the weights again because he's quite a small horse. It helps him. The horse as well, he's 12 years old now, so that might be his last go for no one. Yeah. Well, you never know, but until now I would have thought he'd be struggling to get the distance, but he's just settling a lot better this season. Yeah. So, he's worth having a go.
No, Old Jock's been an absolute outstanding horse for me this season. Obviously, you know, we've had 2 good runs real closely. Obviously, at the Grand National, he came very second to West Coast, you know, which is gutting. But you know, when you look at a horse like West Coast, you think, you know, he's clearly shown some ability. And then, you know, when we were at Wellington that day, where he just got beaten by the Cossack, you think there's another one, you know. So hopefully his day's coming soon. I mean, he definitely deserves it. He's a lovely little horse. He tries his heart out for me. I can't ask any more of him, really, if I'm honest.
Yeah, lovely horse. He's been primed ready just especially for this race, actually. So he went a nice run down at Riccarton in the National. Just bodged the second last fence, ran third. But he watched a slightly better track than it was down there. So and the extra ground here, I think he's run second in this one before. I think he's a good chance. Yeah.
Oh well, she did it quite easy the other day, and just ride her a bit colder and reserve the energy and track West Coast and just hope.
Well, he seems to go for me. He's a tough horse. You sort of feel like he's going to go flat on you, and he keeps kicking if you keep riding him. So pretty confident in him, yeah, in the extra distance.
That's the thoughts from the jockeys. Again, we need to get selections this time for the steeplechase. And listening to you, Bevan, sounds like you're going to stick with West Coast.
Yeah, I'll continue my love affair with West Coast. It's been a long-standing thing, so I can't go against him. 73 kilos is not a concern with him now. Thought he actually worked home quite nicely at Woodville, and like he'll be fit as a fiddle, and I just can't go against him in the feature.
He's a champion steeplechaser. He should be winning this. I think he's the best horse in the race, and yeah, I think he'll be winning again.
I'll be cheering for him, but I just, you know, $1.50 over 6,500 metres. I'm on Call Me Jack, the Kevin Myers runner. You're getting $13 and $3 a place, so yeah, if you're betting, that's what I'll be on.
There you go, Lethal going against West Coast with some value in the Great Northern Steeplechase. Now let's move to the flat races, and we're going to check out race number 8. This is the Open Mile, and Sharp and Smart's in here. Campanessa, of course, Ellington Lass, no market yet when we're filming this, and then you do have the runner like Elegant Lady as well. Let's take you back to Ellington Lass. We're going to take you back to her win in the Rangatiki Cup, and this is what she's capable of, Bevan.
Yeah, this is probably one of her more flat performances last season, because I expected her to just burst away and put him to bed, but it was just more the attitude when the horse came up on her outside that she really dug her toes in. Leith, Alan's always talked about black type with this particular mare. I think she's going to be in a decent sort of race in a couple of weeks as well. Look, she's disappointing at Trenton, but you forgive them on how wet that day was, and she's stepping up to a trip that should suit.
Yeah, Ellen's always rated her, and Tristan Moodley's had one ride on her for a win as well. So, look, she looks really well placed in this race, and look, I think in the back of Ellen's mind, you know, if she happens to win and she's impressive, you know, does he back her up in the Arrowfield?
Wow, that would be, it is a big jump though. You know, was she carrying 52.5 to go to Weight for Age up against the good ones, but she's shown that she already is a good one. Her strike rate's great. She will improve out of sight with that first up run, I'm sure, and she'll get conditions to suit, especially at the weights, because of the likes of Sharp and Smart and Campanessa up the top of the book. Let's have a look at Campanessa first of all, and Sharp and Smart, obviously out of the same race going back to last season, but she's trialled up okay. We know the quality about her. I think they're really happy with her. Sharp and Smart, obviously, they're opting to not claim it all, so 63.5 will be a big ask, but his first up run, the Foxbridge, actually, he ticked some boxes on sectionals, Lee.
Yeah, certainly, and look, she's a 7-year-old mare now, and she's got better off age. Look, she won a Group 2 race at Flemington over 2,000 metres. I think they'll be using this race as more of a sort of fitness race going into the Arrowfield and then the Liver Mile.
Agreed around Campanessa. Sharp and Smart is really interesting, because there were points at Te Rapa where I thought, well, is he ever going to be back? And then the last bit of his week, you said, well, he clearly is. 63.5 is a massive amount of weight, as you all know at home. But he steps up to the 1,600 metres where he should be more competitive, and a little bit of cut in the track will make it really, really interesting. Because as far as a selection goes, I'll go with Islington Lass, because I think she really can step up to Group 1 company. I think that was always the plan, and she should go well on Saturday and head towards the feature at Hastings. Leith, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you as well. I think Tristan Moodley will be doing his best to get to 52.5, but I think he'd only probably take the 1 kilo off, but he's worth it. Barrier 1. I think she's the one I'd want to be on this week.
Yeah, no argument for me, boys. I think she's just in a sweet spot for this race. Beautifully placed, beautifully weighted, and she'll get conditions to suit. So expect her to be winning.
There you go. If you're liking a bet on Sunday, all the guys with Ellington Lass in race 8. Now let's move to race number 2, the sprint for the open runners. And you can see some good horses resuming here as well, including the Hottie, Luberon, and then we've got runners with those runs already under their belt, like Cateslin's Wish. Okay, we want to take you back to the trials around Luberon for Lance Noble. Very good here, Leith. What did you think of her trial?
Yeah, she was really good. Look, they gave her a little bit of a test out the last 100 metres. She got a little bit of a tricky gate, barrier 10 on Saturday, but with Johnny in the race, he's drawn 5. So the race really maps really good for her. I'd say she'd end up sitting just outside the leader. Fresh Up Rick was really good. She's 2 for 2, and she loves the track as well. 1 start for a win.
Yeah, Luberon looks to be coming up really nicely, but I found this overall a very, very tricky race with some quality horses returning to the races, and the Hottie coming off a disappointment at Riccarton. Clearly there was a bleeding attack there, but chock full of ability. Thought Robbie might just be treading lightly there, just gently bringing her back to the races. And Luberon has a fair bit of fitness in the legs, but was disappointing again, like the Hottie at the end of last preparation. So Wild Knight returns, contributes short of her best. Sumi's well capable. I thought this was a real tricky race, Aidan.
I agree entirely, Bevan. I found it a real trick. I respect what Leith said about Luberon. She is up against the next age group up, but obviously with a very good fresh record. I've gone with the Hottie on top, just like what she did last preparation. I know she ended it on what was a little bit of a sound note with the bleed, but prior to that she was very good, very consistent, very honest. So I was with her, but I'm picking Luberon. I know you've been spruiking her a little bit. I think she was one of your horses to follow in the segment as well too, Leith.
Yeah, I think she's ready to win this week. I think 1,200 metres is really going to suit her, and especially with Johnny in the race, it's going to give her a nice. From barrier 10, Warren's got options to just slowly get across, and I think she'll be going very close on Saturday.
And that is race number 2. So there's some fantastic horses resuming, and the first race from there on Sunday is 11:43 on our 10 race program. We have more Kiwis in Australia this weekend, but firstly we're going to touch on the Group 1 where we've got 4 New Zealand breds in the race, the Makybe Diva Stakes. Via Sistina, however, heads the betting at $2.20. Mr Brightside, last year's winner of the race, at $3. Pride of Jenny at $7.50 and Pinstriped at $8.50 in this market. And it closes Saturday at $6.20. Let's go back to Pinstripe. Takes out the Memsy here. Was he the horse that really stuck out to you, Aidan, or did you like other runners in behind?
I'm just waiting for a second up performance from Mr Brightside, who's won 4 of 6. I think Pinstripe was very good. You know there's improvement out of Pride of Jenny. I thought it was a very fairly run race, but I expected the big improver to be Mr Brightside, who's won 4 of 6 in the second up state.
Yeah, face veil of it. Pride of Jenny, they've really dropped her. She's out to sort of $7, and yeah, Mr Brightside was really good. It was a good ride by Ben Allen, and Pinstripe, he deserves his chance this week, and I'm really on Viva Sistina. I think James McDonald, he had the option of staying in Sydney, and obviously he's done a bit of a swaps around with Jolly Star. Kieran McAvoy's on that week.
Yeah, he was a bold fangirl. I know you were really keen on this day too, Leith. She finished into 3rd. Really nice run from Via Sistina. Not a bad run from Matishu just in behind her. We're certainly making okay ground as well. It's just how this form correlates to Melbourne. These are the good uns, and Sydney is just, I just wasn't so sure. I'm going to go home territory, Leith, and the expected second up improvement for Mr Brightside. He was where I landed in this one. Leith, who are you with?
Yeah, I'm with Viva Sistina. I think Pride of Jenny would lead. She's probably the forgotten horse in the race. But I think Viva Sistina, they've got her there for the Cox Plate. So she's there really. Chris Waller and James McDonald would do me.
That's what the guys like. That's race number 9, the Group 1 Makybe Diva Stakes. And there is plenty of good races too across the ditch. This is what's on the card at Flemington. The 78 race number 1 featuring Zurian. Race number 3 Bellatrix Star will jump out there. The Goodwill and Hit the Road Jack and the Group 3 Archer Stakes. You can see Quintessa. She's trying to pick up another group race across the Tasman. This time the Group 2 Let's Elope Stakes. Sans Doute in race number 9 and Positivity for Andrew Forsman in race number 10. So a meeting not to miss out of Flemington on Saturday. And we also have this in play too at Rose Hill. If you're wanting to get involved, well, they've got the Group 2 Jericho Stakes featuring Belclair. Great to see her have her first start in Australia, and Jolly Star for Cambridge Stud. Then in race number 7, the Ming Dynasty, you've got Quality, Run to the Roses and the Theo Mark Stakes featuring the ex-Kiwi and Molly Bloom. So that's Rose Hill, and we've got these promos in play as well with the TAB if you're wanting to have a play. 2nd, 3rd or 4th bonus backs in the first 2 races from Flemington and Rose Hill. Time for our best bets. We've been a little bit in and out lately, Leith, so we're going to bounce back this week. Who are you with?
Yeah, I'm off Lux Libertas on Sunday, race 9 at Rapa, but obviously she's won there twice before. She's got the perfect gate 4, 1,400 metres. Obviously she's going for 4 in a row. Warren's won the last 3 on her as well, so that's my best bet this week.
I'm going to take you and get my best bet out of the way very, very early at New Plymouth on Saturday, and a horse called Tees, who cleaned them up at Woodville. Look, he's still pretty green. He was just laying in at New Plymouth behind Faustian Bargain, who has been going brilliantly this season. I think the gate, probably okay, a couple of kilos off with Tristan Moodley. Really liking Tees at around about $4, which surprised me in the first at New Plymouth.
Yeah, it looks really nicely placed. I'm going to take you to Riccarton, and this horse, Third Decree, really like what I saw him behind Mystic Park in the resuming run. Obviously a very good strike rate, a winner of 7 of 16, quickest last 800, second quickest last 6, 4 and 2, and I think primed for Saturday, Pip.
And I'm going to take you to just one glimpse. She's got a really good record at a short career to date, and I think she can take out the last on Sunday for Tracy and Lisa Craig. Here's a summary of what we are liking for our best bets this weekend, so make sure you note them down. The Wales also with Mantra Blue, Rosso Midnight Brocky, and the penultimate race at Hattrick on Friday. And there is the rest of ours. So hopefully we've found you plenty of winners for the weekend. That concludes the form for another week. It's a massive week of racing. Thanks to the team. I'm sure you've found the winners, and we'll catch you back next week.